Hello, my friends, and a very warm welcome back to English Vibe Daily. I'm Adam. Let me ask you a question that might change the way you see your entire language learning journey. What if you could become fluent in English without the exhausting and often boring process of memorizing thousands of vocabulary words? What if you could speak with real flowing confidence, travel to any English-speaking country with ease, and express your unique ideas clearly and effectively, all by using only 500 core words? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But I am here to tell you that it is completely and absolutely possible. And in this special, empowering episode, I will explain exactly how. I want you to be prepared to forget everything you thought you knew about learning English. Forget those impossibly long vocabulary lists and those complicated, soul-crushing grammar drills. Today, you are going to learn the smart, focused, and incredibly practical way to master English communication, faster than you ever thought possible. Okay, let's start with a common misconception. Most English learners believe, with all their hearts, that fluency means knowing a massive number of words. They will often proudly tell me, "Adam, I have a vocabulary of over 3,000 English words." But then, when I ask them a very simple, everyday question like, "So, what did you do yesterday?" they freeze. A look of panic washes over them. They know the words individually, but they can't connect them. They can't use them in a real, spontaneous conversation. It is a tragic and frustrating situation, like owning a huge, beautiful library full of thousands of books, but not being able to actually read any of them. So, why does this happen to so many intelligent and dedicated learners? It happens because we have been taught to focus on the wrong thing. Real, practical fluency is not about how many individual words you can recognize in a test. It is about how quickly, automatically, and confidently you can use the essential words that you already know. Many linguistic experts believe that the 500 most common words in the English language actually cover about 65% of all everyday spoken conversation. If you learn just another 500 words, you reach a staggering 90% comprehension of daily speech. What does this mean for you? It means that if you can learn these core words deeply, not just their dictionary definitions, but their sounds, their natural rhythm, and the common ways they connect with other words, you will have all the tools you need to handle almost any daily conversation with grace and ease. Let's look at what usually happens on the traditional path. A motivated learner buys a book called 4,000 Essential English Words. They spend countless hours underlining, highlighting, and translating. They become masters at defining advanced, impressive-sounding words like abundant, astonishing, and meticulous. But then, when they finally get the chance to meet a native speaker, and that speaker asks them a simple, friendly question like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" they panic. All their advanced vocabulary is useless in this simple, real-world moment. The truth is, your brain does not naturally store a language as thousands of separate individual words. That's not how we as humans are wired to communicate. Our brains store language in patterns, in common word groups and phrases, or what linguists call chunks, that naturally appear together. If you only learn the word take with the definition to carry, you will never ever sound natural. But if you learn to own that word through its real-world combinations like take your time, take care of yourself, or take responsibility, then a magical thing happens. Suddenly, the English language starts to feel alive. It starts to make sense. Your mouth and your brain begin to remember these phrases as a single unit. That is the monumental difference between rote memorization and true mastery. But here is the biggest problem I see. So many learners simply do not trust the power of simplicity. They think that if something feels easy, it cannot possibly be effective. They actively seek out long, difficult, and complicated materials because it feels like they are making progress. But in reality, that unnecessary complexity is the very thing that is slowing you down. When you make things beautifully simple, when you simplify your focus, you give your brain the precious opportunity it needs to build a strong, unshakable foundation. You've just been introduced to the core philosophy, the immense power of focusing on a small number of essential words. If this idea is already starting to make sense and feel liberating to you, please take a moment to hit that like button. Now let's get incredibly practical and break this down into actionable, step-by-step instructions. Your 4-step plan to core word mastery. Step 1. Choose your core words and make them your own. Your first step is to get your list. You can start by searching online for the 500 most common English words. This will be your foundational vocabulary. But this is where our smart approach begins. You must then personalize this list. You have to make it your own. Think about your own unique life, your job, your hobbies, your passions. If you are a nurse, your personal core list will absolutely need to include words like patient, hospital, medicine, and rest. If you are a passionate cook, your list should include words like add, taste, boil, chop, and recipe. This personal connection is not just a nice idea, it is a neurological hack. Your brain is hardwired to remember information that it believes is relevant and important to your own life. Step 2. Learn every new word in a real-life context. This step is non-negotiable. You must never again study a word in isolation. From this day forward, instead of writing in your notebook, arrive Croft to come to a place, you will write a real personal sentence such as, I usually arrive home from work at 6 p.m. Then you will say that sentence out loud. You will hear it with your own ears. You will feel the truth of that sentence in your own life. And if you are truly dedicated, you will record your own voice saying that sentence and then listen back to it. Every single repetition of this contextual learning process is building what we call automaticity, the ability to use the word without thinking. Step 3. Weave new words, together with old ones. This is where the magic of creation begins. Imagine on day 1, you have mastered the simple words go, work, early, because, and traffic. You can now easily combine them into a meaningful sentence about your life. I go to work early because of the traffic. It's as easy as that. Now, on the next day, you add just 2 new words to your collection: train and ticket. You can now expand and enrich your original sentence. I go to work early because the train ticket is cheaper in the morning. Do you see the beautiful organic way your vocabulary is growing? You are not just memorizing a random list. You are actively creating and building with the language. You are learning in context. You are personalizing it. And you are constantly reinforcing what you already know. Step 4. Tell your own tiny stories. Once a week, I want you to take some of the words you have been practicing and use them to write or, even better, to speak a tiny story. This is the ultimate test of your mastery. For example, yesterday I went to the supermarket. I bought some fruit, some bread, and some milk. I walked home, and then I cooked dinner for my family. This is real, authentic English, built upon a foundation of the most high-frequency words. It is simple, it is powerful, and it is something you can start doing today. Now, let's be completely honest. The process of learning a new language can sometimes feel very lonely. There are definitely going to be days when you feel stuck, when you feel embarrassed about a mistake you made, or when you feel like you are not making any progress at all. But the very moment you shift your focus from "I need to learn all of English" to the much simpler goal of "I just need to master my core 500 words," something inside you will change. That immense crushing pressure will simply disappear. You will stop feeling like you are trying to climb an impossibly high mountain, and you will start to feel like you are simply walking on a clear, well-lit, and achievable path. Every small success on this new path will build your confidence. When you successfully order your food at a restaurant using your core words, when you understand a short video, or when you have a simple chat with someone online, I want you to take a moment and consciously celebrate that win. These small victories are not small at all. They are powerful proof that your brain is learning, growing, and adapting. This is where you start to build real momentum. From knowing to owning, the power of repetition. There is a very famous principle in productivity known as the 80-20 rule. It states that in many situations, 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your effort. This rule applies perfectly to learning English. That crucial 20% of your effort should be your laser-like focus on mastering your core vocabulary. Those 500 to 1,000 words that do all the heavy lifting in everyday conversation. Think of it like cooking a delicious meal. Your kitchen might be filled with hundreds of exotic spices, but the vast majority of recipes will depend on a few core ingredients: salt, pepper, oil, and garlic. These are your foundational ingredients. Once you truly master how to use them, how to combine them, and how to balance them, almost everything you cook will taste good. But please remember, there is a very big, very important difference between knowing a word and truly owning it. You know the word make when you can give me its dictionary definition, but you own the word make when your brain can instantly and automatically produce a dozen different real-world phrases, like make breakfast, make money, make a mistake, make new friends, make time for something, or make sense. To own a word means that you can use it effortlessly and automatically in many different contexts and sentences. Let's do the same with another incredibly common and versatile word, get. You can get up in the morning, then you can get ready for your day. If you are sick, you hope to get better soon. After a long day, you might get tired. If you are in a new city, you might get lost. You might get along well with your colleagues. And at the end of the day, you will get back home. Each of these simple two-word phrases or chunks adds another powerful layer of fluency to your speech. Native speakers live inside these chunks, and so can you. When you practice the same common patterns and phrases every single day, your brain begins to build what scientists call fluency pathways. At first, when you try to speak, it can feel slow and difficult, like you are trying to think your way through thick mud. But with consistent daily repetition, that mental path becomes clearer, wider, and smoother. Eventually, your brain no longer needs to translate. It just reacts instantly and immediately. This beautiful and effortless process is what we call automaticity. It is the very heart of fluency. It's the same magical process that allows you to drive a car, type on a keyboard, or play the piano without having to consciously think about every single tiny movement. The language, through repetition, literally becomes a part of your muscle memory. This is exactly why a short daily practice of just 15 minutes will always beat a long, irregular study session of 2 hours once a week. Your daily consistency sends a powerful message to your brain. This is important. Keep this information alive and ready to use. So, let's design a simple, realistic, and stress-free daily plan that you can start tomorrow. In the morning, spend just 5 minutes reviewing yesterday's sentences. Say them out loud while you are making your breakfast or getting dressed. In the afternoon, spend another 5 minutes listening to a short clip in English, a podcast, a song, a short video, and just notice how often your core 500 words appear. You'll be amazed. And in the evening, spend your final 5 minutes telling a 1-minute story using those words. Record your voice, listen back, and find just one small thing you can improve tomorrow. That's it. Just 15 minutes a day. No stress, no burnout, just a simple, powerful daily rhythm. If you can keep this gentle habit for just 90 days, I absolutely promise you, you will feel your English transforming from the inside out. The emotional journey and the fluency reward language learning is not only a mental exercise, it is also a deeply emotional journey. Many people feel a constant sense of worry when they are learning English. Their minds are filled with self-critical thoughts like, I'm learning too slowly, or other people are so much better than me. But the wonderful, hidden benefit of this 500-word shortcut is that it has the power to calm your mind and soothe your emotions. It makes the massive, overwhelming task of learning English feel small, clear, and completely manageable. You don't have to learn everything at once. You just have to learn a little bit every day. You know exactly what your task is. You are in control. And that feeling of control is the antidote to anxiety. Now, I want to talk about something incredibly exciting. After you have truly mastered your first 500 words, everything about your English learning experience starts to connect and accelerate. When you listen to a movie or a podcast, you will suddenly find that you can understand so much more. You will hear words that you know and own, and your brain will feel a little jolt of happy recognition. And a magical thing will happen. You won't be translating anymore. You will just be understanding. Even learning new words becomes so much easier. When you see or hear a new word, you will often be able to guess its meaning from the context of the words around it. Why? Because your foundation, your understanding of the core language, is so strong. I love to use the metaphor of making a snowball. At first, when you start rolling a tiny snowball, it is very small and requires a lot of effort to get it moving. But as you continue to roll it on the ground, it starts to pick up more snow, and it becomes bigger and bigger. And soon it is so big and heavy that it begins to roll almost by itself, gaining speed and size with very little effort from you. Your progress with English is the same. After some time, it will begin to accelerate, and you will start to feel like you are not even studying anymore. You will simply be living in English. You'll read a post on social media and understand it. You'll listen to a song and catch the meaning. You'll even find yourself thinking in English while you cook or take a walk. And that, my friend, is when you know your snowball is rolling by itself. It's growing every single day, and all you have to do is keep it moving. So, my dear friend, here is your personal invitation to a new and smarter way of learning. Start today. Pick your first 10 core English words. Create one small paragraph about your own life using those words, and then speak it out loud with pride. And tomorrow, just add a few more. Within just a few weeks of this simple, focused practice, you will notice the beautiful, flowing river of English starting to move more easily within you. Thank you so much for joining me for another empowering episode of English Vibe Daily. I'm Adam. If you found this episode useful and liberating, please share it with a friend who is also on this journey. Subscribe to our channel for more slow, clear, and real English lessons that are designed to help you grow every single day. Until next time, keep speaking, keep shining, and keep unleashing the powerful English voice that is already inside you. Bye for now.